Hello, nail friends, and welcome back to another episode of Watch Me Work. This is Let's Make Gold acrylic powders and pigments. I hope you're doing well this evening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And while you're at it, hit that notification bell so that you may be notified of all future videos. Okay, let's jump right in. Today, it's all about gold, and more gold. As you can see, got all my gold laid out. Christmas is coming. I'm feeling festive. It's time to make our own acrylic powders and pigment powders. This segment has been a long awaited. I've been waiting all summer long to get to this point so that I could teach you how I make my own acrylic powders. So the first thing that you're going to need, of course, is you're going to need some acrylic. You're going to need clear acrylic or white acrylic. Okay, so I would suggest that you go with Mia Secret. This jar of Mia Secret was, I think, $13 on Amazon. And I'm using my pigment powders, my Mica pigment powders. They're very opaque. These are great powders. You can use any pigment powder as long as it's Mica. Let me just say that right now. Okay, we don't want to use any kind of pigment powder. And you're going to need some type of utensil. So you're going to need a spoon. I suggest a wooden spoon. And you're going to need some pods, of course, to put your pigments in. Going to need a clean jar to put your mixture in once you're finished. I'm so excited. Christmas is coming. New Year's is here. Just right around the corner. And I thought, you know what, this is a wonderful time to do some gold nails. So I have a series on my Instagram channel called 3 Days of Golden Nails. So I hope that you will take a look at that. Just hit the button on my front page and a little icon that says Instagram, and it will take you straight to my page, and then you can see what I'm talking about. But you're also going to need some nails. So make sure that you have some nails so that you can test your mixture when you're done. So today I'm going to be making jelly powder. Jelly is like a see-through powder. So you can use that for pigment, just to rub, over across the nails, or you can use it, to make your acrylic with as well. You could do one or the other, but today we're going to do 2 for 1. Why not? Gold is such a beautiful color. I just wanted to make this particular gold just a little bit more richer. So I'm just going to take a couple nice spoon heaps out. And I'm going to be adding in some Magic Fly glitter. Now, if you know me, I love Magic Fly. They have many different glitters on the market, but I like Magic Fly because they give you many different shades of the same color. And so all those glitters in the beginning of the video are Magic Fly, and as you can see, they came with an array of different glitters, and the color combinations that you can come up with Magic Fly is just endless. So if you're having problems trying to figure out how to mix and match your colors, I would suggest, like I did in the last video, that you go onto Google and you look up the color wheel. Now the color wheel will tell you what colors to mix together so that you don't come up with mud, unless that's what you're looking for. Because if you mix too many colors together, the colors will turn brown. All right. So let's put just a little bit more glitter in there, and then I'm going to switch over to another type of glitter because this is a little brash. So we're going to tone it down just a little bit. And then you're going to be able to see the many things that you can do with a pigment, as well as using this as an acrylic base for your color line. Isn't that beautiful? Now the difference between using chalk for a pigment and using original pigment powders is there's no moisture in it. Everything is a dry mixture, so I don't have to wait and let it set for a couple of days before I could use it. I could use this pigment powder or put it in acrylic right away. And I'm going to show you how beautiful that is. Okay, so now we're using shallow bronze. Need to darken it up a little. Now I use a glass jar for my mixtures. I do not use plastic. And the reason for that is when you get ready to blend it together, because you're going to have to get your drill bit out. Sometimes little pieces of the plastic can get caught up in your concoction and that will ruin it, and you don't want to do that. When you're mixing colors like this together, you want to be as professional as possible, okay? So that means that you're going to have to get everything together ahead of time. You're going to have to get your jars and clean them out, as well as making sure that you have something to put it in the end. So that's why I said you get your little pods together, and then you get your jars together. So I'm going to make enough for pigments and acrylic. So definitely before you blend anything together, you want to use a KN95. KN95, I'm telling you, not any other mask, because as you see, there's going to be a lot of dust because this is a very dry mixture. It is not like when I was mixing the Crayola chalk. It was a little moist. This stuff is not moist. It is very flyaway. So you definitely don't want to have on your best clothes. You definitely want to have on some gargles, and you definitely want to have a really good mask. If you do not have a KN95, I suggest that you double up. Take 2 masks and put them together. So you can see what I mean. Glitter is flying everywhere. Pigment is flying everywhere because it's very dry. Now, when I was doing the Crayola pigments, it was not this dry. It was a little moist. So you had to let it sit for a couple of days before you could use it. So I'm just going to mix this up a little bit. Just enough. That's good. Now, if you have some type of allergic reaction, let me recommend that you wear gloves. I don't wear gloves because it doesn't bother me. But for some people, when they get glitter on their hands, they start itching and stuff like that. I do not want to be responsible for that. Okay. All right, so now we are using our clear acrylic. But before I do that, I'm going to get my pod. And I'm going to put some of the pigment into the pod because we're going to be using this as a regular pigment powder, as well as using it as an acrylic color. So just scoop some of that out. And I'm going to fill my pot up to the top because I'm going to use the rest of this as my acrylic color. And as you can see, it came out really nice. Let's look at that up close and personal. That came out absolutely beautiful. And when I get ready to put it on the nail, it's going to be a little bit darker than this. So you can't really go by what it looks like on in the pod or even in the jar. Once you put liquid to it, it darkens up. Now, let me tell you a little bit of something about clear versus white. Clear acrylic powder will give you a jelly look, a see-through look. Now, I suggest that you start with a clear, and then you could always add white to it later, depending on how it looks, because no matter what, you're going to have to test it out before you put it on your client anyway. I would never suggest you make up acrylics and while your client is sitting at the table. I would not suggest you do that. I would suggest that you take your time, make your own powders, test them out, and then use them on your client. All right, so I'm just going to take a few scoops. If you are not familiar with how to mix, just take a few scoops. For me, I understand the ratio, so I'm just going to eyeball it, of course. Just like making a cake, mix up your dry ingredients. And Mia's Secret is so good. You're going to see how this mixes up so fast. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. It's already ready to go. It's refracting light. It's nice and light. Look at that. It's not, no chunks is in there. When you use chalk, you will get some chunks sometimes, and that's why your blending process takes a little bit longer. When it comes down to using Mia's Secret as a base, I totally recommend it. I have used other acrylic systems for the base of my mixtures with my acrylic colors that I'm making for myself. They do not come out that good. Whatever they use when they make Mia's Secret, they definitely blended it well. So I'm going to change out this part, and I'm going to put on an old bit. One that I don't care about, one that I don't use anymore. Just like I said in previous videos before, do not use a bit that you're going to use on your client's cuticles to mix up acrylic with. Don't do that. Separate your bits out. And this is another reason why you definitely do not want to use plastic, because you can hear the drill bit hitting the bottom of the glass. So I don't have to worry about chunks of glass being in my acrylic mixture, but definitely if you're using a plastic container, I cannot guarantee you that little pieces of the plastic will not be in your mixture. So I would recommend, ladies, gentlemen, use glass. And just take your time. I have mine up on high. I've been doing it for a while. I know exactly how long to blend it and how much to blend it depending on the color and the ratio. The more that you try to make your own acrylic, the better you'll become at making it. Sometimes you could be good the first time. It took me years to learn how to blend acrylic properly. So when I put it on my client's nail, it wasn't chunky. It was even, like the color was even all over. With white, sometimes if you don't blend it well, you're going to see the white will come through. Okay, so this is what we're left with. We're left with something beautiful here. I see my spoon is starting to fray. I'm going to have to get a new spoon eventually. Okay, so now it is time to test out your product. So I just got up and washed my hands and got myself dust free, and then came back, because you definitely don't want all that stuff on your hands when you get ready to do your client. You definitely don't want that. You want to be as clean as possible. So I am using Mia's Secret liquid. Now, one thing I will say about Mia's Secret powder is that you can use basically any purple liquid. Let me repeat that. Purple liquid. Clear liquid, I would not suggest. Purple liquid is definitely stops the nail from yellowing. So that's what purple liquid is about. It stops the nail from yellowing, especially if you're using clear powders. You want to make sure that your brush is clean. And so we're going to test our mixture, and I'm going to put it right here on the paper. So I'm just going to dab my brush in, get my brush nice and wet. Ah, look at that. That looks really, really good. Oh, look how creamy that is. Oh, that's so creamy. That's so creamy. So that's what I'm talking about. As I pull it out, I can see the glitter. So it's looking really, really good. See it? So I can get two different effects from this. If I put it on heavy, it will not be a jelly. But if I put it on light, it will be a jelly. And then I just put some clear over top of it, like some clear glitter. Clear glitter. Some clear gel or a clear acrylic top coat. All right, let's try it on this nail. Oh, it's looking so good. Look at that. That is looking awesome. I like that. I can see through it. I can see my glitter. The glitter is even. I like that. So I suggest that you have 3 different types of nails to test your product with. Have a clear nail, a white nail, and if you can, a black nail. If you don't have any of those, then you can always paint one black, paint one white, because you want to test it. If your client wants an ombre, if they want a solid, if they just want a little bit, or if you want to do encapsulation, you definitely have to test your product 3 different ways. Okay, now this is what it looks like on a white nail. I like Mia's Secret liquid because it is a medium set. And what I mean by medium set is it does not set so fast that you cannot work the product before it hardens into a rock. So for those of us that have been doing nails for a while, back in the days, we used to use Kiss. When we first wanted to know how to do nails, we would go to the drugstore and we would get a Kiss nail kit, which they still sell, by the way, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid. And we would go and get these Kiss nail kits, and the smell would knock you out. But I'm telling you, the acrylic would harden so fast, you wouldn't even get a chance to really level it off right. You wouldn't even get a chance to put the curve in there or anything like that before it would get hard. So I'm so glad that they came up with a better system over the years. Now, Kiss is still the same. As a nail tech, I've been doing nails for 30 years. Well, actually, it'll be 30 years in a couple of days. I have seen the worst and the best products. Mia's Secret is right in the middle. It's good enough. So if you want to make your own product line, you could. And it's good enough if you don't know what you're doing and you want to practice. So it's good enough for both of those things. Okay, that is looking good. Let me put a little bit more on the side. So I'm liking the way that it's looking. I'm liking the glitter. I'm liking everything about it. Look at that. Now, let me just say this. For those of you that have no idea what you're doing when it comes down to application and leveling off your product on your client's nails, I will say this. Always start with the smallest bead possible and then work your way up. Don't start with this big, huge beads and put it up there, because if you don't know how to work the product, you're going to end up with a clump here, a lump there, and I'm going to tell you something. The drilling and the filing that you're going to have to do to get it to level off, it's just not worth it. So that's the reason why when I put my applications on and I teach my students, use the fingernail polish application. Polish it on like fingernail polish. If you don't know what you're doing, start that way first until you understand how to make your apexes. Some people can make apexes right away. Some people, it takes a while to make an apex. So, and that is like the hump in the nail, to make the nail like not flat, but give it like a little hump to it. That's called an apex. So if you don't know how to do that, putting on a big, huge pile of acrylic is not going to help that. It's just going to make a mess. Now, there are some of you that can put on one ball and let it run down like they do in some of these salons. But still, unless you know your product, you're still going to end up with one side and the other side looking crazy. Okay, so let me just say that. Eventually, I will have a class, beginner's class, on how you apply acrylic to your own nail, not to anybody else's nail. But the thing about it is, if you can learn how to do your own nails, if you can master your own nails, then surely you can do some awesome work to other people's nails. So I'm just going to say that and leave it at that. It's a new year coming, and it's time for, new ways of doing old things. So with some new techniques that I have come up with, I'm going to share with you in my next video, because I'm going to do my nails on live, how to do a full set of encapsulations. I'm going to do them on myself from start to finish. And sometimes it takes me hours. When I'm at home, sometimes it takes me 4 to 6 hours, depending on how long the nails are. But this time when I do my nails, I'm going to have them kind of short, so they're not going to be that long. And I hope that you will be able to watch and not miss it, so that you can get the bare minimum basics on how you can do your own nails. How exciting would that be? Okay, so now I'm just using some D&D DC base coat because I'm getting ready to do the pigment powder. Look at that. That looks so good. We have the jelly that is matte. And then we have the white underbelly of the other nail. And that's going to be regular top coat, the D&D DC 900. These are really good products. You can get them on their discount website. If you go to D&D website, it's going to be twice as much. If you go to Amazon, it's going to be 3 times as much. So they do have a website online that's like a wholesale website. I would suggest you go there. That's where I got mine from. It's like $5.50 for a combo set of base coat, top coat. All right, so here I'm going to use a Mia Secret matte gel. To do this one, I just want to see what it's going to look like. It will probably look just like that because it's dried out, but I just want to see, like, how is the reflector going to be. So we got one that's shiny and one that's matte. And then after this, we're going to do our pigments and see how they come out. I'm going to do the pigments three different ways. I don't want to use too much product on a demo nail. I just put these nails up on, I have like some boards in my salon, And I put these demo nails up on the boards, and I have so many nails on the board. I need to make another board. But you can use any color pigment that you would like. Like I was saying earlier, depending on how you want it to be. If you want it to be opaque, you use white acrylic. If you want it to be a see-through, like a jelly, then you use clear. All right, so I've already put on the base coat, and they cure for 30 seconds, 60 seconds at the max. Wow, that's looking good. Look how vibrant that is. That's why I say you need a black nail. Black nail will definitely let you know where you go wrong at. That's incredible. That's looking good. Now, the original pigment without the glitter still would have looked good, but it was just too bright. I needed something to tone it down a little bit, make it a little bit darker. I'm just going to put a little bit on. I'm not going to go crazy with it because I don't want to waste my products. I'm real funny about wasting my products. But that's a good gold. That's a really good gold. All right, let's put some top coat on that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I would like to thank everyone that has supported me and the channel this year. This year has been an awesome year. From me moving from New Jersey to North Carolina has been very interesting. Definitely different types of clients, I will say that. But nevertheless, I have had a wonderful year here. We're coming to the end of the year. February will make a year that I've been here. Okay, I'm just going to pat this on because I need a little bit more coverage. When you're dealing with a white nail, you really can see the vibrance of it. Just going to pat that on a little bit. So like I said earlier, on my Instagram channel, I am doing 3 days of gold nails. So I just want to do gold, gold, gold all the way until the end of 2021. God has blessed us with so much, even though so many of us died along the way. I just wanted to do something different. I normally would do the candy cane and the Christmas wreaths and holly and snowmen and stuff like that, but I was like, I'm tired of that. I'm a little bit too mature for that. I mean, if my clients want that, they can get that. But as far as me and my nails, how I wanted to make my nails, since I was making this particular gold acrylic and gold pigment for myself for a set that I'm going to be doing on myself probably in a couple of weeks, not next week, but a couple of weeks. I definitely, well, that looks so beautiful. I definitely wanted to change the way that I was doing nails for this particular season. I wanted to be golden, different types of gold pigments, gold inlays. I'm also going to be making some jewelry to go on my nails, something hanging on the side. Just go gold crazy. This pigment is looking really good, even on a clear nail. Will you look at that? That will let you know how your blending skills are. Like, your blending skills, if they're good or not. Because when you get ready to put it on there, it'll definitely show up if you didn't blend it well. I missed a spot with the gel. I'm going to go over that one more time. But all in all, that looks good. So every day on my Instagram page, I'm going to be posting a different set of gold nails every single day for 3 days straight, starting December 16th, 17th, and 18th. Those 3 days, I'm going to be doing 3 days of goldens. Oh, wow. That came out really good. Nice and vivid. Don't want to use too much product. Don't want to waste it. All right, so I'm just going to put some top coat on that just to hold that down for us. Looking good. Okay, that's what the matte nail looks like. Looks great. And the other one, they both look really, really good. And the black. The camera doesn't want to focus. Okay, there it is. Good. Just gold, gold, gold. So I'm trying to figure out like what I want to do. February Valentine's Day. That'll be around the corner before you know it. I have some nails already ready for New Year's 2022. This year went by so fast. This was like another crazy year, just like it was the year before. Lost so many family members and friends along the way. But I also gained some family members and friends along the way. So this year has been equally good and bad. Okay, that is looking awesome. Look at that. Okay, now I'm just gonna put another coat of pigment on this nail. There we go. It's looking good. Now you can pat that on or you can rub it on. I'm doing both. But you can do one or the other. That nail is looking fantastic, by the way. It's so shiny, the camera won't even focus. Maybe I made it too golden. Oh, wow. All right, so let's put some top coat on that. It's so shiny it doesn't even want to focus. Okay, so this is the reveal. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Golden Acrylic and Pigment Powders. Please let me know in the comments below which one you like the best. And again, have a wonderful and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.